What if I told you the #1 cause of those painful V-shaped notches in your teeth has almost nothing to do with how hard you brush? What if it was a hidden side effect from a pill over 100 million Americans take daily for blood pressure, allergies, or depression? And what if the real fix wasn't a $100 toothpaste or another dental filling, but specific nutrients that can start hardening those exposed, sensitive surfaces in less than a week? The standard advice you've been getting is like a Band-Aid on a broken bone. By the end of this video, you will understand the silent trigger that's been carving away at your teeth. I will give you a step-by-step protocol ranked from foundational to revolutionary to finally stop the damage and begin to repair it from the inside out. The #1 method on this list is something you can start tonight, using ingredients that will shock you with their simplicity and power. Let's first talk about that feeling. That sharp electric jolt when cold air hits your teeth. The wince you make when you sip your morning coffee or dare to eat ice cream. It's more than an inconvenience. It's a warning sign. Those little grooves at your gumline, what dentists call abfraction lesions or non-carious cervical lesions, are not just cosmetic flaws. They are wounds. Imagine your tooth is like a tree. The white enamel is the tough outer bark. Right below it at the root is a thinner layer called cementum. Underneath both is the dentin, a softer, yellowish, porous layer filled with microscopic tubes that lead directly to the nerve. Your gums are supposed to protect the cementum, and the cementum protects the dentin. But as we get older, our gums naturally recede. This exposes the vulnerable neck of the tooth. At the same time, a hidden force begins to flex your teeth, causing microfractures right at that gum line. The protective layer cracks and flakes away. Now, soft, sensitive dentin is exposed to everything: acid in your food, temperature changes, bacteria in your mouth. Those tiny tubes in the dentin are like open windows to the nerve. Every time something cold, hot, or sweet touches them, the fluid inside moves, sending a pain signal straight to the brain. That's the sharp jolt. But it gets worse. This exposed dentin is 10 times softer than your enamel. It dissolves in acid at a frighteningly fast rate. Every sip of soda, every bite of a tomato, every bit of acid reflux while you sleep, it's like pouring mild acid directly onto a raw nerve. The notch gets deeper, the tooth gets weaker, the nerve gets closer to the surface. This isn't just about pain. This is a structural failure in progress, a slow-motion collapse of your tooth from the neck down, putting you on the fast track for root canals and crowns. So you go to your dentist. They do what they've been trained to do. They tell you to use a softer toothbrush, recommend a sensitive toothpaste, or suggest a night guard for grinding. When the notch gets deep enough, they'll clean it out and put a composite filling in it. For a little while, it might feel better. But have you noticed? Notches on the other teeth keep getting worse. Often, after a few years, that filling falls out, bonded to a crumbling foundation. These are temporary fixes, symptom management, like painting over rust. It looks better for a moment, but corrosion still eats away at the frame. Why do these solutions fail? They miss the real underlying cause. The problem isn't just external friction. The true culprit is a 1-2 punch, internal weakness, and a hostile oral environment. And that hostile environment is where those daily medications come in. Hundreds of common prescriptions, including top-selling drugs for high blood pressure, antidepressants, and even antihistamines like Benadryl, share one devastating side effect: xerostomia, the clinical term for dry mouth. Saliva is not just water. It is the lifeblood of your mouth, a supersaturated mineral-rich solution of calcium and phosphate, the literal building blocks of your teeth. Your saliva constantly bathes your teeth, neutralizing acids and patching microscopic damage in a process called remineralization. It's your body's 24/7 tooth repair system. When medication reduces saliva flow, that system shuts down. Your mouth's pH plummets, becoming an acidic war zone. Without that protective mineral bath, acid from plaque bacteria runs rampant. Demineralization of your exposed tooth necks accelerates dramatically. So you're gently brushing, using the right toothpaste, but your internal defense system is sabotaged. You're trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol. This is why notches deepen. It's not your fault. You were fighting the wrong enemy. But here's the good news. This process is not a one-way street. Just as teeth demineralize, they can remineralize if given the right tools and environment. We can turn your body's repair systems back on, even into overdrive. Let's build the plan. We're going to rank these remedies from foundational first steps to the most powerful game changers. Think of this as a protocol. You don't just do one thing. You create a system of healing. Let's start with remedy number 5, coconut oil pulling. This gets a score of 3 out of 10. You've probably seen this online. Swish a tablespoon of coconut oil in your mouth for 15 to 20 minutes a day. The theory is it pulls toxins and kills harmful bacteria. There is some truth to this. Coconut oil is rich in lauric acid with proven antimicrobial properties. A study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine found regular oil pulling reduced plaque and gingivitis. But crucially, it lowered harmful bacteria by a small margin. It's maintenance, a good janitor for your mouth. It cannot rebuild lost tooth structure, deliver calcium or phosphate, or harden dentin. Oil pulling is like weeding your garden, a necessary chore to keep bad bacteria from overgrowing, but it doesn't plant new seeds or fertilize the soil. It cleans the area, an important first step, but doesn't repair the actual damage in those notches. If you do it, use 1 tablespoon of organic, unrefined, cold-pressed coconut oil. Swish gently. Don't go crazy, you'll just make your jaw sore. Do it for 15 minutes, then spit into the trash can, never the sink. Plumbing nightmare. Always do it before you brush. Do not expect this alone to fix tooth notches. It simply prepares the battlefield. Now for remedy number 4, xylitol. I'm giving this a solid 5 out of 10. This is a fantastic defensive weapon. Xylitol is a natural sugar alcohol found in many fruits and vegetables. To us, it tastes sweet. But to Streptococcus mutans, the primary cavity-causing bacteria, it's poison. Here's how it works. Harmful bacteria love sugar, eating it to produce acid that dissolves teeth. They gobble xylitol, thinking it's a sweet treat, but can't digest it. The bacteria expend energy trying to metabolize xylitol, getting nothing back. It essentially starves to death with a full stomach. Using xylitol consistently dramatically reduces acid-producing bacteria. Less bacteria means less acid and less demineralization. It also stimulates saliva flow, our natural mineral-rich tooth protector. The clinical dose for dental benefits is 6 to 10 grams per day, spread throughout the day. The easiest way is with xylitol mints or gum. Have 1 or 2 pieces after every meal or snack. Let the mint dissolve or chew the gum for a few minutes. This neutralizes mealtime acid and starves bad bacteria before they can do damage. Think of xylitol as your 24/7 acid shield. It's not rebuilding the wall, but stopping cannonballs from hitting it. It is a critical defensive strategy, especially if you suffer from dry mouth. Now we move from defense to offense. Remedy number 3, vitamin K2. A game changer for internal repair, scoring 7 out of 10. This is where we go beyond the mouth to fix the body's entire mineral transport system. You can have all the calcium, but if your body can't direct it, it's useless, ending up in arteries instead of bones and teeth. Vitamin K2 is the traffic cop. It activates osteocalcin, a tiny cargo truck. Activated by K2, osteocalcin picks up calcium from your bloodstream and deposits it directly into your bones and, crucially, the dentin of your teeth. Without enough K2, osteocalcin remains inactive. Calcium delivery trucks stay parked. Your body can't effectively repair hard tissues. This is one of the most overlooked nutritional deficiencies in the Western world. Studies, particularly from the Weston A. Price Foundation, show a profound link between high K2 intake from grass-fed butter, egg yolks, natto, and strong dental health. Adequate K2 fundamentally turns on the switch, telling your body, take that calcium and use it to rebuild. For supplementation, use the MK7 form of vitamin K2 as it stays in the body longer. A dose of 100 to 200 micrograms per day is a great start. Always take it with vitamin D3 as they work as a team. D helps absorb calcium into blood and K2 directs it. This rebuilds teeth from the inside out, providing raw materials for a stronger, more resilient dentin foundation. The stakes are getting higher. We've cleaned the environment, put up our acid shield, and turned on the internal mineral supply chain. Now for direct, targeted repair on the tooth surface itself. This brings us to remedy number 2, theobromine. My secret weapon. It scores a 9 out of 10. What if a compound in chocolate was more effective at hardening your teeth than fluoride? It sounds crazy, but the science is remarkable. Theobromine is a natural alkaloid found in cacao, a bitter compound mostly removed from commercial chocolate. Researchers discovered something amazing. Tooth enamel is made of tiny mineral crystals called hydroxyapatite. When teeth are exposed to acid, these crystals dissolve. Fluoride works by creating fluorapatite, a new, more acid-resistant compound, like a thin veneer. Theobromine works differently, arguably better. Instead of just creating a new surface, it stimulates growth of larger, stronger, more robust hydroxyapatite crystals. It makes your natural enamel and dentin fundamentally tougher and more acid-resistant. It's not just patching potholes, it's repaving the entire road with superior material. A groundbreaking study from the University of Texas Health Science Center compared a theobromine toothpaste to prescription-strength fluoride toothpaste. Results were stunning. Theobromine remineralized and hardened exposed dentin significantly better than fluoride. You can't get this benefit from sugary milk chocolate. Look for specialty tooth powders or toothpastes with therapeutic concentrations of theobromine. Applying it directly to your teeth, especially notched areas, powerfully stimulates your tooth's own crystal structure to grow back bigger and stronger. This is cutting-edge science, a massive leap beyond simply neutralizing acid. And now for the number 1 way to fix tooth notches fast. The one you can start tonight. This isn't a single ingredient, but a fundamental principle of biochemistry. Remedy number 1, the calcium and phosphate saturation flood. This is a 10 out of 10. Let's get back to basics. What is your tooth made of? Calcium and phosphate. What liquid is supposed to repair your tooth? Saliva, a supersaturated solution of calcium and phosphate. The problem, as established, is that in a dry, acidic mouth, saliva's repair capacity is overwhelmed. Mineral loss happens faster than replacement. So, how do we tip the scales? Use a chemistry principle, the law of mass action. We need to manually and dramatically increase bioavailable calcium and phosphate ion concentration right on the surface of damaged notches. By flooding the area with raw building blocks, we force the chemical equation to shift towards remineralization. The ions have nowhere else to go. They precipitate out of solution and deposit back into weakened tooth structure, forming new hydroxyapatite crystals. This is the most direct, powerful way to reharden soft, sensitive spots, giving your tooth exactly what it's made of, where it needs it most. So how do you do this? There are two fantastic ways. The first is by using a toothpaste with specific technology. Look for ingredients like nanohydroxyapatite, NHA, or recaldant, also known as CCP-ACP. Nanohydroxyapatite literally provides tiny, preformed particles of your tooth's own mineral structure that directly bond to and fill in microscopic defects. Recaldant, a milk-derived protein, delivers a massive, stabilized payload of amorphous calcium phosphate right to the tooth surface. When you brush with these, you are physically painting raw repair materials onto the notches. But I promised you something for tonight. Here is a simple, powerful DIY saturation rinse. You'll need high-quality, food-grade calcium phosphate powder, found online and inexpensive. Take a very small amount, maybe 1/8 teaspoon, and dissolve it in a few ounces of warm, filtered water. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of xylitol to keep bacteria from feeding on it. After normal brushing and flossing at night, take a sip. Swish it around your mouth for 1 to 2 minutes, focusing on forcing the liquid over notched areas. Don't rinse with water. Just spit out the excess and go to bed. You want that film of concentrated calcium and phosphate to bathe your teeth all night, while saliva flow is at its lowest. This is the spike and seal method. You are spiking the local environment with an overwhelming mineral concentration. The effect can be incredibly fast. Many report noticeable sensitivity decrease within 48 to 72 hours. That fading zing is your tooth structure hardening, open dentin tubes sealing over. It is real biochemical repair in action. So let's put it all together. Your action plan. Step 1. Clean the battlefield with oil, pulling a few times a week. Step 2. Defend your teeth all day using xylitol mints or gum after meals. Step 3. Turn on your internal repair system with enough vitamin K2 and D3. Step 4. Use a powerful remineralizing agent like theobromine or nanohydroxyapatite toothpaste. Step 5. Most importantly, supercharge the repair process every night with a calcium and phosphate saturation flood. You are not helpless against this. The pain, sensitivity, fear of losing teeth, it doesn't have to be your future. This is about shifting from passively managing symptoms to actively creating an environment of healing. It's about understanding the root cause, dry mouth from medications, acid attacks, and systematically countering it. This is about taking back control of your health using simple, powerful, scientifically backed tools. Don't wait for another painful jolt or for your dentist to recommend another filling. Start this protocol tonight. If you found value in this breakdown, please hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video exposing 3 so-called health foods silently destroying your gut lining. Share this video with a friend or family member who struggles with sensitive teeth. You could truly change their daily life. Now, take a look at this next video on your screen about the one mineral that can reverse gum recession. You won't want to miss it.